Over the last several years, millions of Americans have been preparing above and beyond the basics, and in the process, many of them have become capable riflemen, professional or civilian alike, which is what led me to develop the MP Field Tool. Now, this is a tool that's made in the USA and solves a lot of problems for anybody who uses their kit out in the field or at the range. And there's a lot of unique features that this tool brings to the table that you've probably never seen anywhere else. So I want to discuss the specifications of the tool, the design requirements that I had during the manufacturing process, especially related to the fact that I needed it to be made in the USA. And I want to talk about all of the features it brings to the table because it has very many that are extremely useful and it weighs less than 1 ounce. So let's get into it. All right, first off, the MP Field Tool was designed by myself and Rob DeFeo of EDC Specialties, and they'll be handling order fulfillment. So if you go to the links in the description as well as in the pinned comment, they'll take you to my website where you can get more information about the MP Field Tool and learn how to order it. Now, during the design process, I had some requirements. One of those requirements was that it had to be made in the USA, and this tool most certainly is made in the USA. It's 100% made here with 100% American-made materials, and I'm very proud of that. Of course, it avoids any tariffs or any supply chain issues, and I think it's good for us to bring more manufacturing back home stateside, so we're doing the best we can with that. Now, another requirement was that it had to be very durable, but also very lightweight. If you're gonna add this tool to your kit, you can't have it weighing you down because we know ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. Well, this tool doesn't even weigh an ounce. It weighs 0.6 ounces to be exact. And that's because it's made out of 7075 aircraft grade aluminum, which is the same aluminum that your AR-15 receivers are made out of. It's also got type 3 anodization, so it's very strong in the sense of the finish, and it won't mar other parts of your rifle, such as your chamber that is made out of steel, because this is aluminum. And there is a reason why you might be using this in your chamber, which I'll tell you about here in just a minute. Now, one of the more unique features is the extract, pull, and pry tool that has the hooked end. Now, the hooked end adds a lot of versatility and can accomplish many different tasks, including clearing 2 common rifle malfunctions. Now, the first rifle malfunction that this tool is good for is when you get a case stuck in the chamber. Sometimes your extractor rips the edge of the rim off the case, and the only way to get it out is to use a cleaning rod down the bore of the barrel or an extraction tool, which this certainly is. And then another malfunction that it can clear easily is when you get a case stuck above the bolt and you need an override tool, which this also is, to be able to pull the bolt back and release that stuck case. And that's all because of the hooked design, as well as the fact that the portion of the tool that allows you to do that is so slim it can get into the ejection port. So that's very unique about this tool, and it's one of the reasons why it belongs in any rifleman's kit, because those are very common malfunctions, and this gets you back in the game much quicker. Now, the hooked portion is also very useful in a numerous amount of other ways. You can use it to pull wire or pull string or pull out staples. It is a pry bar, so you can actually get nails out or whatever else you might need to use it for. And I also find it very useful for other tasks, such as weaving it through MOLLE webbing and pulling whatever attachment method you're using back through that MOLLE, which is a pain, but this tool makes that a lot easier. And the hooked portion just allows you to grab things that you would not otherwise be able to grab. So that part of the tool is very unique and very useful. And on the other side of the extract, pull, and pry tool, you do have the very basic version of mil range estimation, and we're going to talk about why that's there here right now. Now, the reason the basic mil ranging equation is on the other side of the tool is because it's partnered with our quick range estimator feature, which is extremely unique and very beneficial. It allows you to range a 6-foot-tall military-aged male out to 150 yards at a glance. So you hold the tool at about arm's length, and then the base of the laser engraving there of the military-aged male lines up with the base of your target. And then it gives you just about how far away you are from said target. As you can see, that IPSC target is right at about 30 yards right now, and it's lining up very well. So this feature, extremely useful, very unique, and functional. Now let's talk about some more features of the MP Field Tool. One of the most important ones is the hex wrench feature. So you have 4 different hex wrench sizes there. You have 1/2 inch, you have 3/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 5/32 inch, which allows you a lot of access to different scope mounts or anything else you might need to use it for. And what's great about that is that you can tighten your scope mounts to make sure that they're still very snug when you're out in the field, or you can actually loosen them and take them off if something was to break and you don't have quick detach. So I think that's very useful. And then there's another 1/4" driver here at the bottom of the tool. Now that has a couple of different functions. One is that it's a great attachment point for a lanyard or anything like that if that's something you're interested in. But another thing that's great about it is that you can use the tool as a T-style driver for any bits that you want to bring along with you. So you could throw some bits in your bag in a small baggie that might be some Torx T10 or T15 or maybe some Allen key bits, and that way you can actually limit some of the additional weight and bulk of your maintenance kit because you don't need the additional drivers anymore because you can use this tool for that function. So I just wanted to make sure to make you aware of that because I think that's really beneficial and really useful. Now, speaking of the 1/4" bit driver here at the base of the tool, there's also a knot puller and snag puller tool here at the very top, this hooked section right here. Now what that allows you to do is loosen up really tight knots, whether or not that's going to be with like shoelaces or paracord or maybe some fishing line, whatever it is, it helps you get into that knot and pull it loose much easier than you would be able to do with like your fingernails. But they also work as a way to attach the tool to a piece of kit. So you can weave this tool in between your MOLLE webbing and then affix some kind of a band or lanyard or something here at the 1/4" driver bit hole, and then it can come up over the top and then attach to the knot puller right here. So that's one way you can kind of affix this tool to your kit in order to make it a little bit more secure and then have a way you can maybe grab it out of your pocket easier or whatever else you want to do with it. So for that purpose, I think the knot puller is actually very useful for more than just pulling knots, and the bit driver is also a great way to ensure you can attach it to your kit. So I'm trying to make this tool as versatile and useful as possible, and I think we've done that in many different ways. Now, some other things that this tool is very good for is you can use it as a flathead screwdriver. Now, of course, the squared off section here on the hooked portion of the extract, pull, and pry tool allows you to use it in that function, but only if the screws are large enough to accept it. So it's just going to be screw dependent on whether or not it can work as a flathead for you, okay? And then one thing I really like about this tool is it has a door spindle tool, which is extremely unique and something you probably haven't thought of. So the idea behind that is that in an emergency, if you're locked in or out of a building that has a doorknob that's locked, you can knock the knob off. And then in that situation, you have access to the spindle. And then this tool allows you to actuate the spindle so you can then open the door. So I'll let Rob from EDC Specialties demonstrate that for you because he did a better job than I could. And it's really interesting how it works.
This is the spindle of the door, and that's what actually turns it. So I can use the MP field tool to get in here and turn the door, and you'll actually see that I can trip the latch.
Now, one feature I can't forget to mention is that it has a bottle opener because every tool needs a bottle opener because at the end of the day, we're a bunch of degenerates. So the MP Field tool has a lot of features, and some of the features that it can provide haven't even been discovered yet because not enough of these are in your hands yet to be able to try them out in the field and figure out more uses. So if you decide to pick up an MP Field tool, first off, they're $50, okay? And you can get them through EDC Specialties, and like I said, through my website, you'll get all the information you need, including how to order the tool. And it's an excellent tool that will last you a lifetime. It has a limited lifetime warranty. If anything breaks or gets damaged to the point of it being problematic, we will take care of you. So I think that's also something that gives you a little bit of peace of mind. But this tool really belongs in any Minuteman or capable rifleman's kit. It doesn't matter if you're a civilian, if you're law enforcement, if you're in the military. This tool is extremely useful. I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that it could provide the features required to make it a value for anybody who's looking for something like this. And of course, I'd love to hear any of your feedback in the comments, as well as you can email me at magicprepper@gmail.com. But this is something that I've been working on for a long time. It's something I'm very proud of. And don't forget, supporting American manufacturing with an item that's 100% made in the USA with 100% American workers working on it is something that I find extremely beneficial and valuable, and I think many of you do as well. So let me know your thoughts down below or any questions that you have. And like I said, reach out if you'd like. Magicprepper.com is where you're going to get more information about the tool as well as many other things. And of course, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.